Good evening. Are you struggling to get your songs off the ground? Today we're going to be looking at a few ways to give ourselves a head start before we've even started making our song. We want to try and lower the obstacles in front of us so we can get our ideas out quicker, make our workflow more efficient, and therefore get our songs sounding more professional in a shorter amount of time. The goal when optimizing workflow is to collapse the time between you having an idea in your head and getting it out into Ableton. So let's have it. And the first tip is templates. And a template is your first screen when you open Ableton. So this is our template that opens as default. And the reason that we create our own templates is so we have our own outline and structure of our productions before we even start making a song. So when you're creating your own template, it's good to think about what it is you're doing every time you're making a song. And so we're going to take the time away from when we're making our music to do it beforehand in our template. So the structure is already there before we've even started. So we're going to speed up our workflow by doing the work beforehand. So when we open Ableton, we're ready to make music instantly. So if I'm thinking about how I would make music, I'm starting off with drum racks for the drums, and we're loading up a drum rack for our kick, duplicating that and renaming that snare, duplicating it again and renaming that hats, creating an audio track for our crash and grouping that all together and calling that drums. And we do the same for our synths. So lead, chords, and grouping that together and calling that synths. We do the same for our bass. Generally, I'll do a low bass, a mid bass, and a top bass. Group that all together and call that bass. And we colour coordinate it so it makes it easier on the eye, so we can distinguish between the drums, the synths, the bass, the effects. And we do the same for the effects here. Generally I'll use risers, downlifters, white noise, so that's why I'm choosing these. Group that all into an effects group, and then we add our references, reference 1, reference 2, and group those together, call it references, and turn off the output. And we should always have references in our projects. So here we created a basic outline of all of the tracks that I would use in every song that I make. And as well as that, we can save into our template MIDI patterns, because if we're making drum and bass, generally our drum patterns are going to be very similar. So you can input your basic drum rhythm in MIDI, so it's there as soon as you open Ableton. So we've inputted our drum rhythm in MIDI, so this will be saved into our template too. And we can even do things like routing and sidechaining, because we know that we're going to be sidechaining something like the bass to our kick, so we can set that up beforehand as well. And we can set up returns like reverbs on our drums. And if we know we're going to put certain types of processing on our drums, like compressing or clipping, for example, we can add that as well. And to help us envisage the structure of our song, we can put locators in, so we already have a visual demonstration of how our structure is going to look. And once you're happy with your template, then you can save it as your default set. So we go to File, Save Live as default set. And there we go. Every time we now open Ableton, we're going to be opened with this template. You're ready to start making music instantly. And next we come on to keyboard shortcuts. These are going to save your life. It might seem a little bit sporadic, the ones that I'm going to show you, but it's just because these are the ones that I use most. So the first one is a toggle between your audio effects rack and your MIDI clip. So rather than double clicking on the MIDI clip to see your MIDI and then double clicking on the track to see your effects rack, you can just press Shift and Tab and that will instantly toggle between. And while we're in MIDI, one of the key commands that I use a lot is the Shift and Up. So that just sends all of your selected MIDI up an octave or Shift down an octave. Next is Command U, which automatically quantizes all of your notes to the grid. Next, while you're highlighting either a MIDI clip or a piece of audio, you can press 0 to mute that one section rather than the whole of the track. And you could do a very similar thing if you did want to mute the whole track. You select that track and press 0. Next, if you have a piece of audio that's overlapping to the next piece of audio and it's creating a little bit of a click and you need to create a crossfade, you can do that manually, or you can press Command Option F and it will create the crossfade for you. And finally is Command D. You can do this on either MIDI clips, audio clips, or on tracks themselves. So if you highlight, press Command D, it will duplicate it. Exactly the same with MIDI clips, and the same with tracks as well. Next we come on to instrument racks. If you've got a sound that you love and the processing sounds great and you want to use it again in the future, you can highlight everything on the MIDI track and press Command G. This will group everything together and you can save that as an instrument. The next time you want to use it in your song, you search it up and you can load it in, and all of your processing and the sound will be there already. You can do a very similar thing when it comes to automation. Let's say before the drop you tend to take out the low end of a synth and add some reverb. We can create an audio effects rack that does all of this in one knob. First we group together both our EQ and our reverb. Then we press this little circle button here at the top. We create our parameters, so in this case it'll be a low cut. Then we press map on the audio effects rack. We press the frequency of our low cut and map that to our first macro. And we do the same with the dry wet. Now both of these parameters are going to be controlled by this one macro. We press map again and we can see the dry wet and the low cut are both being controlled by this one knob. So we press A on our keyboard to get up the automation. We click on macro 1 and we automate this one macro. We can save this, and that means next time we want to automate both the EQ and the reverb at the same time. We have this audio effects rack already set up and we only need to automate one of these knobs. I will tend to do the same thing for saturation too, because when you push the drive, generally I'll need to compensate for the increased level that the drive brings. And we can create a macro for this too. So we group it, this little button here at the top, we click map and drive to macro 1 and the output to macro 1 too. And at the top here we need to change the minimum and the maximum of both the drive and the output so they go in different directions. So our minimum on the drive will be 0 and our maximum on the drive will be 36 decibels. And our minimum on the output will be 0 and our maximum will be minus 36. So now as we see, when we change our macro 1, we increase the drive and it pulls down the output at the same time. I personally spend a lot of time increasing drive and pulling back the output, so this will save a hell of a lot of time. And we do the same thing as before, we save this as our saturation. And if you save it as saturation macro, then you can find it again in your next project in your audio effects folder here. And finally, we come on to a Max for Live plugin called Shortcut Buddy. And this is really amazing. It allows you to assign any of the keys on your keyboard as a shortcut to load up a plugin. So for example, if you wanted to use a compressor, you could press the letter C and it would load up instantly without you having to go and search it in the search bar. So it's a free plugin that you can just download from their website. And let's say we wanted to assign a key command to our glue compressor. So we'd group it and save it as our Shortcut Buddy glue compressor. And I've got Shortcut Buddy on my master channel, and I just drag our saved group into Shortcut Buddy, press Command K, and then if we click on this little button here, we can assign the letter C. So now every time we want a compressor, we press C and the compressor comes up straight away. No need to search for it in our browser. I do hope this has helped, and hopefully soon you'll be producing from 0 to 100 in no time at all. Thank you.